estás en el Lado Oscuro TV, acordate que te podés suscribir al canal, pero además activar las notificaciones para que te contemos qué estamos haciendo por aquí. Por ejemplo, hoy nos vamos a ir a las mágicas tierras escocesas, pero nos vamos a ir a un universo muy particular, a una civilización postapocalíptica, pura ciencia ficción, basada en realidad en lo que es el concepto de toda esta banda. Banda que acaba de lanzar su segundo disco, se llama Etemen Ænka, y es parte, a partir de este momento, de Metal Blade. Ha sido todo un suceso, así que teníamos muchas preguntas para hacerles. Post-metal, progressive metal, ¿de qué va la banda? Proyectos, lo que ha sido la grabación de Etemen Ænka, así que para eso te presentamos entrevista exclusiva para el Lado Oscuro con uno de sus vocalistas y guitarristas, Dan Barter. Esto es Dune.
Dan, welcome to El Lado Oscuro. It means the dark side. And well, we are going to talk about, as I told you, your beautiful new record. And we have, of course, some very important questions to make you. But I have a, for me it's an important question. Did you sneak around behind the scene of the new Dune movie, or you're?
No. Unfortunately, we've not been given access yet.
Okay.
Yeah. No. That would have been nice, obviously. But no, I think we're the same. We've only seen the trailer.
Well, okay, it will be a spoiler trailer, but we know the history, and of course,
yeah.
You know the story behind of you most of all. Know the story behind of this. So, but I think you enjoy the previous one from the 80s, right?
Oh yeah. The David Lynch. I actually rewatched a couple of weeks ago, but that's one from I think I saw that film at far too young an age. And it left a very, very strange impact on me from a very early age.
Yeah, but I was a kid.
yeah. The blue eyes and the traveler in the tank is but great film.
Now so, we understand why you are into this because of the childhood. Yeah, big nerds. Of course. Hey Dan, before entering into the universe of this new album, I saw a couple of days ago that you're planning a tour with Boscov in the UK. Is this confirmed?
Yes, so that should now be. I mean, touch wood, obviously with Corona, everything. But we've now, we've confirmed that that's in December this year, so that's I think seven dates in the UK. Yeah. So that's all confirmed. Hopefully, as long as everything sort of continues as is with obviously the
this
and stuff.
This is huge.
But yeah. So like it's quite odd like having gigs to look forward to again, but very, very good.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, there's a few other things we're working on as well. Hopefully announce some more dates soon to go with that. But obviously we can't say too much at the moment, just with, as you can no doubt understand, trying to book tours at the moment is quite difficult.
Well, it's a start, right?
Yeah. It's a start, and it'll be great to actually just see, not just for ourselves, obviously, just to see other bands and other gigs. There's a few festivals that have been announced now in the UK that it'll hopefully be around the summer and autumn time, so fingers crossed, live music again.
Yeah. Okay, well, first of all, you're not part of Metal Blade. This is a huge step for the band. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, great. No, they've been fantastic. Obviously it's a label and bands associated with that, with Metal Blade, goes back to my childhood, and now they've even continuing 20 years later on, still bands on there that I've either loved my whole life. Candaria, Cult of Luna, The Ocean. We're in very, very good company, and so far it's been great. They've been fantastic, really supportive over the last year. Obviously, it's not been ideal for them either, with none of their bands being able to play. But it's been great so far. I'm looking forward to, and just happy we finally managed to get the album out for them.
Of course. Well, Metal Blade tours, everything is going to be really awesome this year, right?
Yeah. Well, once we get back on track, I think so. Yeah, the latter end of this year should be good.
Well, entering into this universe of Etemen Ænka that has so many layers in every levels, because not only on the concept, the lyrics and the music, but in everything. You still consider yourself, your band, as a progressive / post-metal, stoner. How do you label yourself?
Yeah, it's a weird one, because I think everyone in the band has a slightly different take on what exactly it is we're playing.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, and it differs sort of track to track. I mean, definitely there's that sort of post-metal. Neurosis have always been a huge one for me, especially, and so many of the guys in the band. The prog elements come into it time to time. I mean, we like to keep things slightly different and fresh, and also just bring in a few different influences. But it's interesting because not everyone seems to have a different sort of genre for us to go into.
The rehearsal must be really fun.
Oh yeah, great fun. A lot of ideas.
Yeah, of course.
Of things going into it. But no, that's kind of been the aim from day one with the band, was always to be very open with new ideas and new influences, not necessarily just from a sort of metal background, but wider as well. I think we've taken a few sort of world influences and sort of Middle Eastern stuff, especially on the sort of new album, which has been nice to play around with. It's not just the heavy all the time.
That was so many layers that you have. That's the reason. Well, you have also lineup changes between the last record and this, right?
Yeah, for sure. So we've had between Sharon and this new record, so two things have happened. One, Jack was playing guitar for us on the new record, but he was playing guitar and bass, but he's no longer with us, and we have a new bassist called Greg, who's playing bass for us now. But that was again different to Sharon, which was our friend Alan, who was playing bass for us at the time. And the other thing we've done is add in a synthesizer as a full-time instrument. So on the record, it's actually Victor playing pretty much all the synths.
Okay.
So he's actually written and recorded all the synths for the record.
Okay. Oh, that's new.
Yeah. He grew up with learning the harpsichord before he learned guitar, so he's pretty good on the keys.
Okay, so the record was already made before the lockdown. After you finished Asheran, it was. So it's not something new.
No, so the record we actually had recorded nearly 2 summers ago. Mm-hmm. So we actually recorded it summer 2019.
Oh.
So a lot of these songs we've been sat on for nearly 2 years, but the plan originally was to have it released last summer, and then spring. But obviously with lockdown and everything like that, we had a chat with Metal Blade. We both basically just agreed that it would be best to put it back until we at least had the hope of touring again. Obviously right now we can't currently play gigs, but it's looking better.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, because it sounds very different in so many levels. That Asheran, some of the reason is because you add this synth in everything that makes another whole atmosphere inside all the tracks, right? And it's quite like a refinement. It's a really cool add with this. Adding so much important synths and keys, right?
Yeah, because I mean what we'd actually done is, I think compared to Sharon, we've actually stripped back some of the guitar, but that's to give space to the sort of extra layers of synth and the extra layers of elements. So I think me and Victor were talking about it the other day. I think at Sharon we had something like 12, 18 layers of guitar, whereas at Etemen Ænka we've stripped that quite far back. But again, it was more just to give the space to this huge new sort of synth sound that was there.
Yeah.
So now using which took some used to getting used to that sort of in the mix and how we were using that throughout songs, because a lot of the songs were written, all the guitar written first.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't until we were in the studio and we had all the drums and had all the guitar down that we then started writing all the actual synth parts. Like, we had some ideas of what we wanted to do, but a lot of that writing was done in the studio.
Okay.
Which was also the nice thing we'd done this time around, is that we'd given ourselves more time in the studio just for playing around.
Yeah, well,
that's hard work, obviously, but nice work.
Okay.
Time to play around, time to switch tracks, time to. I think Victor spent 5 days maybe just on sort of doing the synth parts and layering all that up sort of thing. So yeah, it's yeah. It's some good composition on there. But yeah, no, that was certainly the aim, is to sort of get that atmospheric and sort of upgrade what we'd done previously on a Sharon and sort of keep that sort of atmosphere. And yeah, I think the synth certainly helps sort of nail that through.
Yeah.
Keep a nice consistent feel.
Yeah. Well, Joe-Dan. And talking about the recording process, it's the same. It's the second time that you work with Graham. Graham is correct. The pronunciation.
Graham. Yeah. You're right.
It's like a familiar things for you being on Chamber Studios again. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like, we know Graham sort of from outside that anyway, just from the sort of scene in Edinburgh. And we'd worked with him on a Sharon. He didn't actually mix a Sharon, so it was a bit different this time as well, because we basically, so he had a lot more time for stuff as well. But yeah, Graham's great. I think we'll be using him again in the future. But yeah, it's like, as you say, he's kind of the fifth. Well, what's fifth now? Sixth member.
Okay.
At the time of recording, now sixth member of the band. I mean, in terms of ideas, in terms of structure, he's always great with some of the ideas for instruments, or ideas for, he has a whole cabinet of very nice, boutique, weird and wacky effects pedals that will get brought out, various odd instruments, and it's good, because it's not just, he's part of the actual creative process. It's not just a matter of him recording us. He's quite a big part of that, and there was a lot of discussion with him before the album, but obviously how we wanted to sort of improve on what we've done with the Sharon. But yeah, no, it was great, and yeah, for the second time round, things were, even though we've given ourselves a lot more time, I think just a bit more smoother as well with the whole process. I think also just because we were 3 years further down the line as musicians and more used to being in that sort of environment as well, and having the sort of confidence going in with the songs.
So it was also fun. With this no pressure with him.
No. I mean, pressure enough that you know where you want to go in and still do it.
Of course.
Good takes, otherwise he's going to give you abuse.
Of course.
It's all in good jest, and it's for the benefit of the album. But yeah. I mean, he wants things to come out just as good as we do at the end of the day. And yeah, he's been really, really pleased. We're actually up. So a couple of weeks ago, had a party round at the studio for the launch. So it was good. Okay. Campaign was that was.
Well, so the work it's awesome. So you also filmed the Towers video there in Chamber Studios, right?
Yes, yeah. So Towers was shot. We did that just before Christmas. And yeah, so that was just done. We had our friend Callum film, and our other friend Sam come down with a lighting rig and set that up. And yeah, so it's just sort of shot that one afternoon in Chambers. So that was good, and just did that as a sort of live recording in the main room.
It was live, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's live recording, and then that was, I think I edited that together over January. But yeah, no, that was a good fun afternoon. Nice to actually be playing again after, I think we'd previously shot something back in October, but yeah, it's good to be at least doing something at the moment.
Yeah, because it me as an audience, we saw that passion, like it was like fierce, because besides the shot and the technical issues, I mean, it's like you playing like live. It was wow, this is so cool, because the anger, the urge to play live.
Wow. That's the thing. We'd wanted to sort of get a live feel across with that. I mean, there was the one we'd done back in October as well. That ended up not being quite as live. We had a few technical issues shooting that one. But yeah, no, it was really nice to do that one live. Because obviously with the other video, which is the SI14 one, which is more not so live.
Not so live.
Yeah, we were not live in that one. With the crease moving around. But no, so it was just nice to play. We had a couple of people in the room as well, so it was a very small audience. But the result is really awesome, because you got that passion there. We hope to sort of capture the sort of...
Yeah. Well, the job is done again. So it's like check. It was really, actually really awesome. This is it's really for me. It's like really interesting to know how a band like you develop this kind of record. I mean, do you have the creation process? I mean, the lyrics before the music with the lyrics all together, because you are a very complex band in so many levels that it's not like a trash band talking about I don't know, society and whatever. You have this whole universe in you, so I believe it's really complex, as I told you. How do you manage to do this? Because it's really interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of the time what we do is we will sit down and sort of hash out a sort of general concept for the album, which will be generally sort of what has been in the past, sort of me, Victor and Dudley. Victor being the other guitarist and vocalist, Dudley being the drummer. We'll sit down, or have sat down in the past for the last two albums, and sort of get together an idea. A lot of the time we've actually had, I mean, I'll generally work on lyrics throughout anyway, just if there's something coming to mind, I'll be jotting it down. But generally we tend to have a lot of, or have done for the last two albums anyway, we've had a lot of the actual music written before we then write lyrics to it. And we generally will then tend to have an idea of sort of the order of where we're wanting the tracks, and then what we want the sort of flow of the narrative to be throughout the album, and then that in turn influences a lot of the lyrics.
Okay.
It can be a bit of a back and forth. It gets quite complex.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's usually. I think the last one, I wrote like 6 pages of backstory. That then.
Wow. You have books, right?
Then like Dan, half the band don't know what's happening, so we simplify it down, and then there's But it's part of the process, and usually good fun as well. But yeah, we'd like to keep the lyrics a little bit sort of not so much cryptic, but it's nice to see people seem to like to read in their own sort of slight interpretations into bits and pieces.
Okay.
And it's very interesting to see, and hopefully maybe we can expand on it a bit more in the future next time as well. We've talked about before releasing a sort of either graphic novel or artwork sort of thing alongside the narrative. Which may be something we can look into in the future. But it's, as I say, it tends to be a sort of the lyrics is usually sort of collaborative between myself and Victor, but the overall idea is usually sort of agreed on a night with the whole band and a few beers.
Okay, well, I have to add the vocals. The vocals are really awesome. This mix of vocals is it's amazing, so emotional, with so much passion. It's like, well, it's beautifully done. So congratulations again. And I believe quite of this is related to what you just said, because of your ideas and stuff, both of you.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing, we've always wanted to sort of keep that balance between mine and Victor's vocals as well. I mean, obviously we have sort of Victor's now. When we first started doing way back in the day, Victor wasn't doing any sort of cleans, and vocals were mainly myself, I think, on Progenitor actually, but then from a Sharon only, we then very much split that down the middle, and we found it gives very nice sort of atmosphere and to bounce back and forth, to not just have the one style of heavy vocal all the time. It just adds a bit of texture again. Already the other layers going on.
Layers. You're about layers and textures everywhere.
And then I have to also give a big shout out to Lissa Roberts, who did the
amazing
guest vocals on 2 or 3 of the tracks as well throughout the album. She came in and basically nailed that in about 2 takes one night in the studio. So that was
so quick.
She's slightly more professional than us, but
but it had this quality, this is like a sci-fi quality that she has. It's really it's really well done again. Also another check then, it's like check. But really awesome. But you said before about the narrative, and so you're giving the audience the possibility to interpret the lyric as we want, because I believe I want to have hope in your universe, not be this ascendant and celestial beings, but I don't know, I want hope right now, but so you're letting people to decide.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's certainly darker moments and lighter moments throughout the last album and this one sort of thing, so hopes definitely always take hope away.
Wow. So are you considering, but because after Asheran you made you already almost had this one, everything you told us before, but are you thinking on your 3rd record right now?
Yeah, so we've started, there's a few ideas kicking about. We've not really had the proper sit down to chat about exactly what we're going to do with it, narratively or from a sort of concept point of view. But I think that there will definitely be one. So there's a few, we've both started on a few different riffs during lockdown, and I think now, especially now that the sort of Etemen's now launched and out there, I think obviously rehearsing for gigs, but we're now looking at hopefully writing for recording maybe end of next year possibly. We'll see how it goes with gigs and stuff in the meantime, but definitely have the next one already in mind. As I say, we finished recording this one nearly 2 years ago, so
that's why I bet you have another book, a whole book of lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. So many away though.
Okay, well, plans is now promote, of course, this album, as you told, the gigs that hopefully start this December, and anything else that Dune has on their path right now?
So we have hopefully another live shoot, sort of similar to sort of Towers, what we did there, but different place, that we're looking to shoot this summer, just to again give a bit more of a live gig back to everyone whilst they're all stuck inside. But we'll hopefully have a few more details about that once we've got a few plans. Starting writing and just working on some tours hopefully.
Okay. Because you are a very visual band. Your videos has this great quality, that this sci-fi profile that you have, and did you enjoy making these singles for the please I have to say that, please give me the right pronunciation of Etemen Ænka, porque the A is Norse, right? That the A
the A is that part is Norse. It's referencing to which one is it? So the Etemen Ænka is basically, it was a tower in Mesopotamia, which is the Tower of Babel myth. Ænka is a reference to a more godlike being, but that's from a different, I think, possibly, as you say, the Norse or Latin culture where they combine.
Yeah, because of that.
So there's a few things combined throughout as well from different cultures. We like to sort of imagine that that's what would happen over time with mythologies, and that they would all combine. And so
it's a universe. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. And then we change it slightly so it's not exactly the same. So I think there's part of Liz's vocal, I think that's Navajo, Indian, and then another part that's Egyptian, and then combined into different
so
words.
The right pronunciation will be?
Etemen Ænka.
Etemen Ænka. Oh, well, it's easier than Scottish.
It's easy in Gaelic, yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Dan, we have to thank you for this time. We want to do the thing that I told you before. We are going to end this part of this interview right now. So thank you very much for being part of El Lado Oscuro. And let me say it try to say it in Scottish. It's like tapa de lei? No.
Yeah. You'll have to check with Dudley. My Gaelic's not up to scratch.
Why? I have this opportunity. Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry.
Okay, gracias. I had to say gracias then.
That's fine. Thanks very much. Oh, thanks for having us. That's been great.